Flosstube, it's Mary, the Daydream Stitcher. Thank you for coming by and checking out my video. This is a stitchy update for February the 9th, 2021. This is my channel about cross stitch, and I thank you to everyone who has subscribed and liked and commented. Thank you for coming by and spending a few minutes with me. I have a lot I want to show, so I will get right to it. Let's get to the stitchy stuff. The first thing I have to show you is a finish. I actually finished something for a change. So I can do it the right way. My long dog sampler, Pavon for these times, is all done. Here it is. This is in Silks for You PR 152. And it's stitched on a silk weaver 32 count Wexford linen in a colorway Purple Petunia. I don't know if they still offer that one. It's an old fabric that I bought on eBay. Oh, probably, maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago. It was my very first hand-dyed or over-dyed fabric that I ever purchased. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy. It says 2020 on it. Technically, I finished it January 20th of this year. But it was important to me that it's a commemorative piece, and so for 2020, so I finished it in 2020, except the border. And then this top part here, where it kind of looks like waves along here, I was stitching along on this side. Yeah, stitching along this way. And I got here, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I don't need a pattern. I've got it figured out, right? So I don't need to look at it. So I stitch, and I get to here, and I realize, oop, that's not going to work. And I went and pulled my pattern out, and lo and behold, it switches direction, which should be obvious, but I didn't know it any better. So I had to rip all this out and then restitch from there on, and that was very frustrating. I had to put it on timeout for a week or so, but yeah, it's done. So. And I can't wait to stitch another long dog sampler. I love stitching long dog. This is my first of this kind at all. I've never done anything of this style before, and it was an absolute joy to stitch. I loved every second of it. So I can't wait to start another long dog. I have several kitted up. I'm just chomping at the bit to start Death by Cross Stitch, and I'm kind of looking for any excuse to start it. But every day, one day at a time, I just don't allow myself to do it. I have so many whips, and I've done a couple starts, and so I got to talk myself down from that. But I absolutely loved stitching long dogs, so it'll probably be sooner rather than later when I start my next one, because they're wonderful. And using Silks for You is so much fun. I love it because you can just stitch your colors and go, you know. All right, so that's my finish. I don't usually have finishes, so that's exciting. For 2021, I'm doing WIPGO, which is from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I've heard about it, of course, over the years, and I never participated. This year I'm participating for the first time with the hope that it will help me. Apparently, apparently I'm too ambitious, because so far the goals I made for myself I haven't met. But I have gotten a lot of stitching done, and WIPGO has helped me be more aware of my whips and what I would like to accomplish this year. And so, having said that, my goals for January, there were 3 numbers called, one including a free space. Well, 2 numbers plus the free space, and so these are my 2 that were for January. Garden Prelude. It's a Mirabilia. My goal was actually to have her finished in January, which, as you can see, I still have a ways to go. But I did get a lot done on her dress last month. I was up to here before, and then I worked all the way down to this side of the dress, this end, and I'm working my way across now. So I will continue to work on her. I've actually been rolling along and enjoying working on her now. I kind of got a rhythm going again. I had put her away for a while because that massive gown was like, I just needed a break, but I'm really enjoying her again. So she's getting a lot more stitched. And then after I finish her huge gown, I just have the arms to finish and the bow. You can see that. Everything else is done. So if nothing else, maybe I can get her done by the end of the year. Maybe she can be another finish for 2021. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Along with my another January goal, I got a new toy. I bought an almanac frame. I never really worked on a frame before. I do have a frame from Michael's that my kid's dad had gotten me for my birthday last year, and it doesn't hold the fabric tight. So I did some research and I decided to try the almanac frame from Estonia. And it came in 3 weeks. I ordered it right around New Year's. It came in 3 weeks and I put my Artisy piece on it and I love it. This is a 90 centimeter and I ordered the 70 now that I'm waiting on to come. But here is my frame. Yeah, I highly recommend them. Beautiful workmanship. Holds the fabric wonderfully. And this is my Artisy. This is my Victorian Home by Artisy. My goal for January was to finish this page up here. This rectangle here is the first page. Obviously that didn't happen either. However, I did get a lot of stitching in on this. I got over 1,500. For me, that's a lot. I know for some of you that's nothing. But I did stitch about 1,500 on here. I don't normally count my stitches very well, but because it's on Pattern Keeper, I do know that I stitched at least that. I think maybe more. I filled in most of this. And a lot of this on this page is in 3864, which I was out of. And apparently a lot of the shops were out of it too. My local stores didn't have it. Excuse me. And my 123 stitch was out of it, and a couple other ones I looked at. And I ended up, I had to pause for a second, sorry. I ended up getting it from Sandra's Stitch Stash, which is out of Ohio, USA. She's got a website and she's awesome. It's a couple of people that run it, and they're very quick shipping, great customer service. I know they have a lot of charts. They have newer charts, and they also have some older out-of-print charts that they've acquired. But I didn't know until recently that they actually carry the DMC floss by number. So I was really excited. So I got some floss from her. So that's in. So once I fill in the 3864, most of that page will fill in. That's a tree, if you can't tell, behind the house. That's on 18 count. There you go. Next is February. Well, I'll show you what else I did in January, if I can find my stuff here. In January, I started Mirabilia Stargazer with Stephanie from Miss Oh So Crafty. She's here on Flosstube. Stephanie, you owe us another video soon. It's been a while. I hope to see more from her soon. Oh shoot, I had everything here and I don't see it, of course, but I will show you. So I started it on this. I have wanted to stitch Stargazer for years, and my dream fabric for her was Gothic by Picture This Plus. Isn't this a beautiful fabric? I love it. It's perfect for a night sky, right? A Stargazer. But when I started stitching it, I found that the dark gray, there's actually no dark gray on here because I pulled it out. The dark gray on there doesn't show up for me. And I tried a couple different colors. I tried some different grays. I actually went on to the Mirabilia conversion Facebook page and I experimented with some of the conversions on there. And I actually stitched some on them and I was not happy with the way it was looking. So I pulled those out. This is what's left. And I ended up restarting it on another fabric, which I had right here and is now missing, of course. So hopefully I'll have that to show next time. I have a very dismal restart on there, not much. Stephanie and also Angela. I'm stitching with Angela, who is a friend of Stephanie's, and I asked her if she has a Flosstube channel. I haven't heard back from her yet. But both of those ladies are just rolling along and making great progress, and I'm a little embarrassed that I have so little to show and that I had to restart. So oops, but I will definitely work on her more this month, and I will. Oh, here she is. I knew she was here. I knew it. She was just hiding. She's ready to make her appearance. There's really not much to show. I think she goes this way. I'm not even sure which way she goes. Here she is. The funny thing is I'm not doing so hot on fabric choice this year. This is a beautiful fabric by Under the Sea Fabrics called Whimsical Winter. This is a 32 count Lugana. But, so the gray's showing up great. But of course the blue gray is pretty much the same color, so it's not really showing up. So, but I'm just going to keep on plugging away. Hopefully it'll make sense. If not, I'll add in some backstitch. Usually the Mirabilias don't have much backstitch in the dresses or, you know, lining the dresses, but I'll just see what happens. I don't know. I don't want to restart her again, so I won't. But I think it'll turn out okay. For February, the numbers that were called pulled up 2 Disney whips of mine, which is exciting because I'm missing Disney World so bad. I live about 45 minutes away from Disney World in Florida, and you know, before all the COVID stuff, we would go frequently, sometimes several times a week, and sometimes we just pick up our homeschoolers, so some days it'd be beautiful outside and I'd say let's just go to Disney World, and so I'm missing that so much. So I'm glad to work on my Disney pieces. The first one is Disney Castle by Mandarinks Design. This is an Etsy pattern. My camera is washing out the colors because it looks kind of gray on here, but it's actually a purple and pink and beautiful blues. Mandarinks Design is on Etsy. She has beautiful fan art in cross stitch, and her profile says Paris, France, but I'm pretty sure she's in Russia, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. She's European. So I actually made a lot of progress on this. I stitched almost 1,000 stitches on this month. And actually, sorry, I'm getting notifications. I'm like, is somebody calling me? Is this real life? What was I going to say? Oh, I stitched almost 1,000 stitches on this. I didn't have much done before. Like I said, I'm really bad at counting stitches. I really probably should count hours done, and I should change my goals to reflect that. This piece is done on a Be Stitch Me fabric. I wanted to show. That's pink and purple, and it's called Twinkle. It's a 16 count Nita, which isn't showing up. It's brighter than it's showing up. The pattern itself has a sky stitched in the background that's blue and pink. Sunset kind of, and instead of stitching that, I purchased this fabric for that sky. You can kind of see that in the background instead. My other one for my other WIPGO project for this month is my Snow White Discovers the Castle. She's a Disney Dreams design. These kits are now out of print. If you're familiar with them, they're going for hundreds of dollars on eBay, which is ridiculous. The kits themselves are not very good quality, but it's going to be really pretty when it's done. I have a problem because I'm certain that I don't have enough fabric. Talked about this before, but I arbitrarily started here without measuring. I don't learn my lessons. I really don't. I just go. I just don't. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen when I get to this side. So really, I probably ought to grid this out or stitch this out along here and just see where we are. It's going to go right up to the edge, if not over the edge. I don't know. My goal for February was to have this half completed, which, again, isn't going to happen. Who needs plans, right? No, actually, I'm glad I have plans because I can kind of see like what I got done and also what I'm not getting done, because I tend to way overestimate my stitching speed and my stitching time. And I really haven't had a lot of time lately to stitch as much as I would like, and so things aren't happening as quickly as one would hope. But I do have a finish already, so there's that. I'm super happy about that if you can't tell, because I haven't had like a finish. I didn't have really any big finishes last year at all. I just had a couple smalls. So I joined a couple of sals. I've never done sals before because I like to see what something looks like before I stitch it. I like to know the whole thing. I like to know the whole story. But I did decide to try a couple this year because I thought it would be fun. So we'll see. So one of the ones I'm doing is a Broadway sal. This is on Etsy by Taylor and Cromwell. I'm not real familiar with them. They do have other patterns on Etsy, so I'm a little on the fence about like whether this is something I'm going to finish. But I am going to finish this. This is part 1. This is from Les Mis, if you're familiar with Broadway musicals. It's a B, obviously. Did I say that? It's a B. It's going to be a B. And it says, do you hear the people sing? And it's got the French flag there. I mean, it doesn't yet, but it's going to in theory. And some wine glasses. This thing is huge. Let me open this up. It is about 30 inches across. This is only half. This is half of it stitched, partially stitched. I did not stitch the whole frame on purpose because I wasn't sure if I was going to like the actual stitch along. So I didn't want to do that whole huge frame and then like not do the piece. It would be kind of a waste. So I put in what I had to do to figure out where to start. And there's where I am. The frame, as you can see, is kind of a marquee. So it comes out every 2 weeks. I don't know that I'm going to be able to keep up with it that quickly, but it's something. It's fun, and it's fun to meet other people who are into stitching and also really into musical theater, as I am. The other stitch along that I'm doing is the Stitching Book Club, which many of you are familiar with. I did not do them last year. I just joined this year, but I do want to go back and stitch the other ones from last year. I think they're wonderful, and they're all books that I love. I love classic literature. And the first one this year is Sense and Sensibility. I actually was able to snag the kit on her Etsy shop. I know they went within seconds, literally, I think. She had a very limited amount. And then she was able to make a few more. You obviously don't need the kit to participate. You can kit it up yourself. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm so scratchy today. But I'm really excited, and that's starting this week on, I think, the 13th. And it includes like the finishing and the backing fabric here, and some pretty trim, and all the DMC floss. And so I'm not sure what to expect, except that I'm guessing it will be kind of like a sampler, 19th century sort of English sampler type of thing. So hopefully I'll have that to show what it's looking like, and I'm sure many of you will be seeing it on Instagram or doing it yourself. I think that's all I have to show for my current progress, my whips. I would like to show you a little bit of haul that I got. I have gotten quite a bit of haul in the last few months. I'm supposed to be doing Stitch from Stash. I'm totally failing at that. Sorry, Stephanie. I'll show you just a couple things. This is not everything, but what I grabbed out of my closet. I picked up a couple of fabrics from the Silk Weaver flash sales. They do these on their Facebook page, they do flash sales every weekend or every other weekend. And somebody had told me that, so Silk Weaver, I have a love-hate relationship with, I'll be honest. I love Silk Weaver fabric. I think they're gorgeous. They're beautiful to look at, and they're wonderful to stitch on. I have had so many issues over the years with their customer service. And a couple of times I decided I wasn't going to order directly from them, but I would purchase, from like other sources. And then I kind of went back on that, and I purchased a couple things last year from them. I do purchase from other fabric companies, so I'm used to the weight, that's no problem. But Silk Weaver I don't know what it is. They don't seem to know, one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing. It feels like, I don't know what's going on up there. But anyway, somebody told me that if you purchase the flash sales, the items on the flash sales on the Facebook page, they ship them out quicker because they're already made. They're extra that they have, and they're ready to go. They're already dyed. Unfortunately, it still took about 6 weeks for me to get this from them, and I had to contact them twice before they shipped out, but that's okay. They're beautiful. I got this one, which is Lapis Lazuli. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. In 32 count Lugana, which if you can't tell, that's my preferred. This is a beautiful purpley with white. I feel like my lighting or my camera or something is washing out. I'm sorry, that's Wexford linen. If anybody cares, it's not Lugana, it's linen. And this is also 32 count Wexford linen in Tuscan clay, which is a nice neutral, very little, if any, modeling. There's a little bit of white modeling in it, but not a lot. I purchased another piece on the Cyber Monday sale back in November or December. I got a couple pieces from Leslie at Under the Sea Fabrics, which is one of my favorites. This is River Sticks, which is my all-time favorite colorway in overdyed fabric. I cannot get enough of this. I have several pieces of this, and then it was off the website for a while, and I emailed her like, what's going on? You didn't discontinue River Sticks, did you? And this was a while ago. So she put it back up, and it's a beautiful blue-gray, stormy sky. From here, it looks like my camera is like blurring things. Like, it looks really blurry. It's annoying. I also purchased Properly Primitive from her in 36 count, but I don't have it in front of me to show. And then I also picked up some things for one-day projects to kit up. Totally unnecessary. I want to stitch Halloween Quaker with Michelle Bendy Stitches. She's doing some Zoom sessions, and I got a better start because I haven't even started it. But I purchased this 40 count pewter from Picture This Plus. I actually got it from 123 Stitch because we all know that we're not getting stuff from Picture This Plus anytime soon. So yeah, so I really like it. Actually, you know, Halloween Quaker is stitched on Picture This Plus Murky, and every time I see the picture though, I think that it's on gray. So I thought I would see about gray, and actually the colors look pretty good, I think, on it. Oops. The only one I was concerned about was this gray, but obviously it's showing up fine because pewter is pretty light. So I'll probably do it on that one. Whereas Murky is more of a brown with gray. And then here's a 32 count Lugana in Storm from Picture This Plus. And again, my camera is totally blurring that. I am so sorry. I don't know what's going on. But hold on one second. I had to pause again. We're having computer connection issues. Oh no, they're playing Harry Potter Lego game together. And so it was a major crisis because they can't get on. Our Ethernet card, Ethernet, I think, is it called? It comes undone sometimes and like just loose, and it just has to be reconnected, re-pushed in. I got some more silks for you, silks. I forget the number of this. I'm sorry. If anybody really cares, you can let me know and I'll put it down below, or maybe I'll just put it down below anyway. This is a beautiful cranberry and brown, which I'm thinking about pandemic. See how I'm like planning all these things? I need to be working on what I have. And this beautiful, I think this is PR03038. It's got these beautiful turquoise. It's actually a lot more turquoise than what is showing here. Right here it looks really blue, but it's more of a blue-green. And then green and gray. And I actually just last night on Instagram, I saw somebody stitching Pandemic with this one, and it's really nice to see it stitched up. I feel like it'd be nice if we could see like samples of the one stitched up, but I know that's tricky because of lighting and monitors and things like that, so it probably isn't real accurate anyway on the photographs. And in the name of trying to get organized, I purchased some fabric, some bins to keep my fabric in. And I also finally got a container to keep my beads in. I actually have a lot more beads to put in, but these are my Mill Hill beads. I just started last night putting them in. So I really am making an effort this year to get organized. I've got my bags. I've got both Garan bags, which I love, but are hard to get a hold of. And these bags from Amazon, which I know many of you on Flosstube have. I like those too because you can see through them. I'm getting everything kitted up, which sadly, I admit I didn't really have it like that before. It was a matter of like finding the stuff every time I wanted to stitch. So hopefully this way I can rotate my projects a lot quicker and get more actual stitching time rather than looking time done. That's what I have to show you for February. Thank you for watching. Again, next month will be my sixth year on Flosstube. It's weird, I know, because it doesn't look like I have that many Flosstube videos, but I was on another channel, and I know I always blabber about that. But it will be 6 years, so can't believe it. So next month I will be doing a giveaway on my channel, so please do check that out when I'm back in March. And I will see you guys then. Happy stitching. Bye.